Hey fitness fans, I want to talk to you today about gym etiquette. When we do giant sets or supersets, that's where we're doing 2 or more exercises in fast succession. Sometimes it's necessary to go through and set up stuff ahead of time so that you can move through those circuits. When we do something like giant sets, when we have 4 or 5 or more exercises in a row, it can be challenging to try to get everything set up when you're in a busy gym. So here's the etiquette around it. If you're training on a piece of equipment and somebody wants to work in with you, you generally let them work in, provided that they're not going to rack up or alter your training with too much stuff in between. What I mean by that is, say you're doing a leg press with a 45-pound plate. Somebody comes along, a big guy, and he wants to work in with you on the leg press, but he requires 4 plates aside. I would probably look at that person and say, I'll be done shortly. And what that means is you have to be cognizant of them. So you can't sit and walk around, get a drink of water, read the newspaper. You actually have to maybe shorten your set between your rest time and get back at it so your sets are done, because you know somebody's waiting. Because for him to come in and put all the plates on in between and then you have to take them all off again, it interrupts his training and yours. But really, anybody asking to work in with you, or if it's you asking to work in with somebody else, you have to be aware of that. So look at the person and see how they're training, or look at the person coming at you, and if he's a big guy and you think that he's going to use a lot more weight, then just kindly say, no, I'll be done as fast as I can, because it interrupts everybody. So not everybody knows this gym etiquette when it comes to working in. I've had some people, if I've asked them if I could work in on, say, a hack machine with a woman similar size to me, and she turned to me and said, no, I'll be done soon. And I kindly said to her, but I can work in with you because we're pretty well using the same weight. So while you're standing there resting, because she was resting like, you know, a good 30 seconds to a minute while she was waiting, just resting on the machine, this is where we gladly say, if we know it's not going to be too much effort to alter things, we say, sure, come work in. So that's how gym etiquette works. So when you have your supersets, it's easier with, say, supersets, because generally that's only 2 exercises back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you can often put things close together. If you're doing a bent over barbell row and say you're doing a lat pull down, you can bring the barbell over towards the lat pull down so it's close and you can work close and you can get it done fast. Most people won't interrupt you if that's the case. But if it's big machines and you got to move back and forth between machines, expect for some people to want to move in. If they do want to move in, they don't know you're in a superset, you can just say to them, I'm doing a superset or a giant set here. I'm doing a circuit. You're welcome to work in with me if you want. What that's saying is, this is kind of my territory, and if you're working in with me, you plate your own and you take the plates off for when I'm coming back. And that's just being kind, that's being nice, that's being respectful. If I'm asking to work in with somebody when they're on a machine and I'm gonna add weight or take away weight from my set, I do it quickly so not to interrupt for too long, but also I will always put the weight back to what they were doing because I'm asking to join them. So that's kind of how the etiquette works when you're doing any kind of superset or tri-set or giant sets, where you have to do stuff in succession with a bunch of different circuits or pieces of equipment or machines lined up one after another. So I hope that clears it up. All right, you guys. Sharesies. Ciao.